Wiggity, 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 whack.
Where's the music?
Shots out of Prozac.
You're listening to Denver Wine Radio.
It's a DJ and a winemaker yakking about music and wine.
Presented by Bonaquisti Wine Company.
And now here's Cha and Polly.
Hey, welcome everybody to Denver Wine Radio. It's Paul Bonaquisti.
Cha-Cha Chavez.
Hey, welcome to a special edition of Denver Wine Radio. We have two guests in the studio today. Very excited to have Val and Stephanie from the Wine to Five podcast. Did I get it right?
That's it. Yes. Wine, TWOFIVE, like I-25.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So tell us about the Wine to Five podcast, because I know you both talk about wine, and maybe you can give us a little of your background too, because you're into wine education and
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
What's it all about?
Steph, you want to start?
Oh, go for it, Val.
All right. I love how Steph usually tees it up. So Steph and I met while seeking our certified wine educator certifications through the Society of Wine Educators. Steph lives 2.5 hours away from me, 2-5, up I-25 in Fort Collins. And we met through a mutual friend, and we formed a study group of women who were studying for our CWE exam. And for those of you who don't know, that's a 6-part exam. It's pretty grueling. And Steph and I had skin in the game. So we started kind of studying really hard for this thing because we had already had our exam dates, and we just kind of clicked.
Yeah.
And what we did is we recorded our lessons on a conference calling app. And so if somebody couldn't be in the study group at 7 a.m. Sunday morning, then they could listen to the recorded call.
Yeah. And there was a call that I missed. And when I listened to it in the car, studying, I thought Val is so funny. She should have her own podcast, because I would just listen to her talk about wine whenever, because she's so great. And so I told her, I said, you should have your own podcast. And then it wasn't long before that she goes, hey, guess what? We're going to have a podcast.
Nice.
So, Val, did you guys just one day just wake up and say, okay, I want to learn more about wine? Has this been something, for years? I mean, how long have you been doing this?
Oh my gosh. Well, I always say I'm actually retired military, so that's what I did
Right
for
on.
25 years. And I was looking for just something different to do temporarily. So actually, when I retired from the Air Force, I went to Italy to study wine for a year, and I thought it would just be a one-time thing. Then I'll get back in the cubicle, still
Go
got the
hang
security
out,
clearance.
have fun.
Yeah, just kind of figure out who I was going to be. And then I knew from there on I was going to study and learn. And then I returned to Italy the following year, and I turned right back around and went to France. And I'm like, I'm going to study French wine and French language. And I went and studied Italian language full-time in Italy as well.
Wow.
So I did all this. And it was the following year when I was seeking out whatever I could do in the States that I actually came up here to Bonaquisti, and I actually met Paul and sat in a class right here in this room that was being given by another agency because they took the GI Bill, and I was looking to find a place that would take the GI Bill. And I did end up over Denver Metro, but it all started from there. That instructor said, hey, try the Society Wine Educators. Went to the Society Wine Educators. Hey, do the CSW. Hey, get the CWE. Met Steph, and I am a wine education junkie.
Yeah,
You are.
She is. I would definitely say she's a junkie. And it's so cool that all these things bring us together, because even the friend of ours, Andrea Rogers, that brought us together, I had met her in like 2007 in Steamboat. So it's just funny how these things bring people together over and over again years later. And now we're podcasting about wine so that we can really reach a greater audience, because I'm in Fort Collins and Valerie's in Colorado Springs, not necessarily wine meccas, and we don't have people like clamoring down our doors to learn about wine. So when we can put it out there and people can listen from all over the world, we have listeners in Italy and France and Germany,
That's so cool.
Scotland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and they communicate with us, and it's really special.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Today's technology, huh?
I know it. It's
Yeah.
So you're fluent in Italian?
I am conversational to the 3rd grade level.
So you and Paul could
I'm not.
you're not?
I'm going to be kindergarten if I'm lucky.
Yes, I can have a conversation with a 7-year-old, and I always start when I'm traveling by just explaining that I'm learning, but please speak to me in Italian. Sto imparando la lingua italiano, per favore, parla in italiano. Please speak to me in Italian. I'm learning, and I don't want to hear English when I'm traveling. But and then I make a fool out of myself in some way, and I make an eggplant feminine when it's or feminine, make an eggplant masculine when it's really feminine. And
Right.
the old ladies in the grocery store yell at me, but that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So the Wine 25 podcast, you guys have been around now for you're starting your 4th season.
Well,
Right? Is
it'll
that
be,
correct?
we're on our 4th season and we'll be celebrating our 4th anniversary next April.
Podcast anniversary.
Podcast anniversary time. So we usually try and do something fun for that. But
Does it get
actually,
crazy?
Yeah. Does it get nuts?
but before that, we'll be celebrating our 200th episode right at the first of the year. So
That's
it's like
amazing.
Wow. That's
beginning of
very-
January.
That's very
So
cool.
So
That's
and
very
and you
cool.
were telling me earlier you drop every Thursday. You drop an episode.
yeah, we have a new show every week, drops on Thursday, and you don't have to listen in sequence. So you can cherry pick, what looks good to you. You can start from here and go forward. But we do have listeners who binge just like Netflix, and they go all the way back to the beginning and they don't want to miss anything. So I think that's really cool too. And when they tell us where they're listening, like where they're at, it's just fun to be on the journey with them too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What are some of your favorite wines that you've discovered along the way, or you love telling people about?
That is a tough one.
Well, you
It
mentioned earlier in our interview that you brought in some Albarossa.
Yes.
And that grape, we had a very special grape gab about Albarossa last year because we had met Suzanne Hoffman, who wrote the Wine Family's book, and she talked about that grape and that producer, and he supplied some of that wine for a presentation that we did in Portland last year. So that kind of struck something with me because that's not a grape everybody hears about or knows a lot about. So discovering those crazy wines via the people we meet from the interviews or the places we go, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. And it's also cool. We were just in the Finger Lakes region of New York doing a conference. We were there as participants and Valerie also as a speaker. And one of our listeners brought a very special bottle of a magnum-sized bottle of Via d'Are Vineyards with her in her suitcase to share with our other listeners.
Wow.
And it was something that we talked about on a previous episode. So there was a lot going on with just people having listened to the show. We had one of our supporters listeners as a guest on the show, and then she shows up with a bottle of wine from that episode. And, I think that's what makes all of these wines that we talk about and the people we meet so memorable, and podcasting makes it worth it,
It's a community.
Yeah, it definitely is. The shows that I follow, and I feel like I'm part of it and connect with the hosts, and so.
Yeah, should I get that?
Yeah.
Paul can't come to the
We
phone
have
right
a
now.
caller on line 1. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
What's your burning wine question?
Yeah, really. Well, see, we should have done the show live, and we could have put that out there.
Oh, totally.
That would have
Okay,
been fun.
that's for another time.
That
That's
is,
right. We're
definitely.
coming back for that.
You got to come back
awesome.
because I want to open wine on the show, and because Sean and I we taste wine on the show because we're learning, and so we definitely want to have you back and taste wine with you.
We would like that.
We would like that. And you just real quick, we touched on something. We're learning. And this is something that, Steph and I have established ourselves as we all have. We like to say, hey, we've studied this stuff. This isn't a hobby. This is our profession. This is what we love. But we're always learning. And I don't care, if you have the diploma, if you have the MW, I don't care what you have, you're always learning. And nobody knows everything there is to know. And we drink on the show just to make sure we're always learning.
There you go.
I'm always learning how to say something correctly.
We
is
all
what I'm learning.
are. We all are. But we all speak wine.
But and that's so true, the way you said that, because even now I'm starting my 13th vintage here. but when I still talk to other winemakers and other people, and I ask them questions like it's my first vintage. Like, huh? What do you know? And but I'm always learning and fascinated by what I can find out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the world
Us
of wine
too.
is dynamic and it changes very fast.
Yeah, and then when you travel and then your eyes just go wide open. I've never heard of this. I don't know anything about this, So tasting it, being there, that's one of the cool things that we try and also bring to the show and connect with the listeners that live in other countries. That Val and I have been able to do that too. So.
I think that's the best part to me of technology is people from other countries.
Yeah.
Other backgrounds, cultures. They can listen.
Yeah.
Just like, I have a friend when I was on the air, she lived in the Netherlands. And it would be like 3:00 in the morning there. And she would text me. I'm listening,
funny.
or my dad wants to hear. And it's crazy because it's like, but at the same time, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we go any further, I would like to say thank you for your service.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much for your service and all the years that you spent, protecting our country. And,
Thank you.
And now you're spreading the word about wine. And
It was a good life. I always say the military made me drink. Now I get paid to do it. So, yes, no, it was a good life. Thank you.
right on.
Well, all right.
Is that it, Polly?
I think that's it.
Till we meet again.
Till we meet again,
until
but-
we drink wine.
Till we drink wine, yeah.
clink
So,
glasses.
but so tell us, tell everybody where to listen and how to listen.
Okay, you can find us at wine25.com. That's wine, TWOFIVE.com. We are also on pretty much all the social spaces at wine25. Sometimes I think Instagram, we're a Wine25 podcast. So, and we're building on the Instagram. So that's going well for us. But yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, all that good stuff. And hit subscribe wherever you like to listen to your podcasts.
Pinterest is the best. You can learn how to paint your bathroom and drink at the same time. There you go. While you're painting the bathroom. Perfect. It's a perfect combination.
It's true.
I'll have to check that
It
out,
does. How to make a bed frame out of a pallet.
The danger, once you're there, you
And
never
drink
leave.
wine.
And learn about
Exactly.
Barbera.
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's perfect.
That's right. Good.
Yeah. Once again, I feel like I'm at the bridal. Remember when we did the show with Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
An expo or something?
No, I was the only guy but it was just Shaw and our friend Joe Myers,
Yeah.
and they were talking girly stuff, and then I felt like I was at a baby shower
or something.
I was the only guy there.
Yeah.
I said,
And I sat quietly in the corner.
you're going to play all the crazy games, that we do at baby showers.
I don't like baby showers, so
So you're saying you don't do Pinterest, Paul?
I don't do Pinterest,
I don't do a lot of it either. So.
but my wife shares a board with me that I'm supposed to go look at.
There we go.
It's full of honeydew projects. Let's say that. So not full of wine.
that's good.
All right. So, well, hey, thanks for being here. And where are you guys off to? You traveling soon?
I'm going to Charleston actually soon, so
nice.
there'll definitely be some good food scene down there.
Oh, yeah.
Cocktails and food.
That is food mecca down there.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show here today. And hey, listen.
And
And
but
what
what?
else? Oh, you got to put some altitude in your glass.
Yes.
I love that when you guys say that.
Put some altitude in your glass.
Put it in your glass because there's a lot of great Colorado wine out there. Okay.
Great, Paul.
Yes,
It'll
And
put
then
a skip in
report-
your step.
Report back to us.
Exactly.
indeed.